Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
After the meeting, Jim cornered me. He used profanity. A word I can't repeat.
Former Fargo School Board President Jim Johnson is defending himself for what has been described as bullying.
Johnson's surprise removal as president at last night's board meeting has the community buzzing about allegations. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has more on what happened and the future of the board.
I would encourage all of us in this room to find better ways to gather input.
Could you talk to us instead of read to us?
No, Jim, because I wanted to be prepared, and the best way for me to be prepared and to not be attacked. This is a committee report.
Okay.
Checking through video of previous school board meetings, you can find examples of conflict. After this meeting, just 2 weeks ago, board member Jennifer Benson claims Jim Johnson cornered her. She says he made profane comments towards her that violated the board's conduct code. And it all came to a head last night.
I believe that what she brought up in terms of violations, that the vote reflects that.
Rebecca Knutson takes over for Johnson as board president for the rest of the school year. She says the board hadn't previously discussed his removal, adding they don't plan on asking him to resign. Knutson and Benson both say parents came to them with concerns after attending the February 13th meeting to discuss possible boundary changes. Benson claims some parents felt their opinions were downplayed by Johnson.
I really feel like, unfortunately, at our last board meeting, the president used his position to make condescending comments to the audience, to citizens, in a dismissive fashion.
And now Johnson is saying he doesn't believe he spoke in a condescending manner to anyone. He tells us he was completely shocked when it was brought up in Tuesday's meeting. Johnson will remain on the board. His term runs until 2020. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
Last night's vote to remove Johnson as president passed on a 6-3 vote. Johnson tells us if he came across condescending in any way, he apologizes. He adds he hopes to be a valuable member of the school board and has total confidence in the members. We tried getting in touch with Jennifer Benson for comment, but she did not respond to any of our calls.
I'm getting a feeling that winter may be losing its grip. Temps continue to be warm enough to melt some snow. Let's find out from Hutch how nice it's going to be tonight.
Yeah, that sky cam showing a shot of what looks like fire in the sky out to the west. Sun more potent on this, the last day of meteorological winter, but not the last day of wintry weather. More on that in a minute. For tonight, our only concern is going to be temperatures slipping into the teens, and once again, areas of patchy, dense fog and frost creating slippery conditions as temperatures slip into the mid-teens in Grand Forks this evening. Now, winter will remind us in what may be a very big way this weekend that it is not through with us yet. Some significant snow in the forecast. I'll have details on that coming up here in a few moments.
Well, I tried.
You did.
All right, thanks.
Yes.
Concerned parents of the Wahpeton School District took to social media showing these photos of moldy food and hamburger buns with nothing in them. They contacted the whistleblower hotline asking for help, and we looked into it and also found former students who say mold in the food was not replaced without price. The school superintendent denies those claims.
There's no way in the world we would ever make a kid eat something of that quality. It's just, they might look at it and they think it is, it's not. There's no way. Our cooks are trained in it. It's just not going to happen.
Superintendent Jacobson says the parents should have told officials before contacting the media so they could properly look into the issue. Remember, you can call our whistleblower hotline if you need help with a serious issue in your community. Call 237-6576 and leave your tip. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
Survey results are back showing that a majority of Grand Forks residents are opposed to consolidating and closing North End elementary schools. After a contentious public forum about a month ago, over 500 surveys were sent out on what to do with aging elementary schools in Grand Forks. 52% of those surveyed didn't support adding existing school buildings and closing others. Consultants have said the most expensive option would be to do nothing and fix infrastructure problems retroactively. School board members have said that they're months away from making a decision on future building.
North Dakota's health department is accepting proposals from laboratory companies that want to test medical marijuana in the state. It's the next step in efforts to establish a system for the drug approved by voters in November 2016. Last summer, 7 laboratory companies with experience in other states expressed interest in being a part of North Dakota's program. Now they can formally apply through April 19th. North Dakota law allows the use of medical marijuana for 17 medical conditions, along with terminal illnesses. The drug is expected to be available to patients late this year. The health department is finishing administrative rules covering such things as testing, security requirements, and transportation regulations. The agency 2 weeks ago selected a Florida-based company to implement a monitoring system for North Dakota's program.
A number of people are out and about, and Fargo police are trying to track them down. These are people of interest regarding separate crimes. So if you know who any of these people are, officials are urging you to leave a message on the law enforcement tip line. You may remain anonymous. The phone number to call in is on your screen, 701-241-5777. You can get a closer look at these photos on our website. Go to valleynewslive.com.
People in our nation's capital are paying their respects to the Reverend Billy Graham. The late preacher is lying in honor at the U.S. Capitol Rotunda today and tomorrow. Graham's son Franklin, daughter Ann, and some 24 other family members traveled to Washington, D.C. They greeted visitors as they filed through the rotunda, shaking hands and sharing stories. North Dakota U.S. Senator John Hoeven was one of the many visitors this afternoon.
That message of faith and family, of substance, but also of bringing people together, something that we've always needed and, of course, need now more than ever. So I think that really resonates in that he really counseled elected leaders on both sides of the aisle with that message of love, hope, forgiveness, and bringing us together.
Reverend Graham will be laid to rest Friday at his library in Charlotte, North Carolina.
The only one that I've only seen part of is Revenge of the Sith, because that one's rated PG-13 and it's pretty inappropriate.
That's Cameron Winkler, a 9-year-old with a lot of opinions, certainly about Star Wars. He also has spina bifida, a rare birth defect that affected his spinal cord. Cameron got to meet some of his favorite characters on a Star Wars cruise, thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. His mom says having his wish fulfilled was a great bonding experience for the entire family.
When you have a child that has a life-threatening illness or condition, you kind of, you look at, one day at a time or one surgery at a time or one procedure at a time sometimes. And the fact that we were able to, count down looking forward to that trip and Cameron getting a wish granted, it just was a huge blessing for him and for our entire family.
You can learn more about Cameron and the program that made his wish come true tonight on Valley News Live at 9, on the CW, and on Valley News Live at 10.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Returning to the scene of the crime. Later on Valley News Live at 6, details of a white sauce thief in Grand Forks with a guilty conscience.
Up next, law enforcement gearing up for another push to get drunk drivers off the road.